5 years on, the State Department is still dragging its feet on releasing emails related to the murder of 4 U.S. citizens on that dark night. Today, U.S. District Court Judge Amit Mehta, an Obama appointee, ruled that the State Department hasn't looked hard enough for Benghazi-related emails sent to or from Hillary Clinton and ordered a new, wider search. Ramona Kotkar is a senior attorney at Judicial Watch, and they sued the State Department for the emails, and Ramona joins us now. It's 5 years on from September 2012. Why has this taken so long, Ramona?
Well, it's taken so long because the State Department is refusing to meet its obligations under the Freedom of Information Act. We had filed this case over 2 years ago. We asked for all of Secretary Clinton's emails related to Benghazi and to the attacks in Benghazi. And while the State Department did search the records that were returned by Secretary Clinton and her most senior officials, they refused to search the most obvious place, which would be the State Department's own server. It patently refused to do so. Its position in court was that it would be fruitless to search the State Department email accounts of her senior advisors, Huma Abedin, Jacob Sullivan, and Cheryl Mills, her most trusted senior aides while she was the Secretary of State.
Well, why is the State Department... Hillary's been out of the State Department now for 4 years, 4.5 years. Why is there still institutional support for obstructing freedom of information on her behalf? In other words, why is the Trump State Department protecting Hillary Clinton?
Well, I don't know why the current State Department is protecting Hillary Clinton, but we know that this has been a drip, drip, drip sort of saga because the process by which the record-keeping system was maintained during her tenure at the State Department avoided FOIA. She maintained a private server, and all of her emails were housed outside the State Department server.
Right. And in effect, then, there's no agreed totality of what it is you're looking for. You might get a bunch of emails this time, but it doesn't mean there's a whole bunch, because basically she forwarded them to the United States government.
That's exactly right. And those emails were hand-selected by her attorneys, and the emails that were returned by her senior aides were also hand-selected by their attorneys. And as the judge pointed out, there is no assurances that the State Department has made or even can make at this point that those records that were returned by Secretary Clinton and her senior aides contain a complete set of her emails. And it's just like, imagine that you are spreading your set of documents amongst 10 file cabinets. You can't just search 3. You have to search all 10.
Right. That's basically what we mean by the record of Hillary Clinton at the State Department. Is there's some things for which there's 3 photocopies, and there's some things for which there's 2 photocopies, and there's a whole bunch of stuff for which there are no photocopies. That's basically how it's worked out there.
Right, right. And so now the State Department has to go back and do what it was supposed to do 2 years ago, and search the state.gov email accounts for her senior aides.
What do you think we're likely to find in these Benghazi emails? You've asked for things relating to how Susan Rice wound up giving all that mumbo-jumbo on those Sunday shows about why it was all the fault of some video that none of those guys had ever seen.
Right. So that's actually a different case. This case would include those emails, but this actually is a little broader. It asks for all of her emails relating to the attacks. And they have until September 22nd to provide the court with an update.
Okay. Well, thanks for that, Ramona. If you look at the film about the Benghazi incident, what's fascinating about that is that there were people in town involved in that attack who seemed to be very well informed as to the ambassador's whereabouts that night. And it would be interesting to know whether the leakiness of Hillary's private server had anything to do with that. Ramona, thanks very much and good luck. And I'm glad you were able to find an obliging judge today.